Hi, welcome to this episode of the WordPro podcast. You wouldn't even believe how many minutes it's taken to get this going.
You would not believe.
But it is summer holidays, isn't it? So we are juggling. Actually, by now we should really be pros at this. We've done quite a few.
I think we are. I actually think we are. I mean, look at the time. It is, I've got up, got ready for work, face on, hair ready, like bossing the day out.
And it's early doors.
And it's early doors. Like, we are bringing you the goods, come rain, shine, summer holidays, whatever's happening. We are here to get your wedding business moving.
Yeah, so what we wanted to talk about today is we're seeing a bit of a shift in how search engines are working, and some of you may be aware, but a lot of you may not be aware that we're having a bit of a change in how search engines have typically worked and SEO has typically worked. So how you get ranked as a business. So for the last sort of 40 years, SEO principles have pretty much been the same. But with the movement to AI, and for those of you that use Google, you may see the Google AI overview at the top of your search engines now. And that's rolling out everywhere. There are some changes now in how SEO works. And this is the first real time that this has happened. And the principles that you've been relying on up until this point are changing. So we wanted to do a podcast today, really to be addressing kind of generative AI and Google AI overview and how you can still ensure that you're visible in 2025. So really the question that we want to answer in today's podcast is blogging still worth it in 2025?
Absolutely. And can we just touch on, firstly, to, lots of you might be like, why are these changes happening? So can we kind of dive into that a little bit? And that's because the way people are searching on search engines is changing. They're using a lot more reliability on AI. So therefore, that's what we're going to be talking about today.
And yeah, and I think the thing about that is how we search with AI is different to how we might type search. And we saw this slightly 4 or 5 years ago in voice search recognition with kind of Alexa devices and things like that. But now it's kind of the next level of that. So if you made some changes when that happened, you're probably a step ahead and a step in the right direction. But if you didn't, don't worry, we're going to cover everything that you need to do today. Yeah. But basically the way people search, and then not only search, but how they interact with the content that comes up on search engines. So Google, Yahoo, or Bing, or any of the search engines that you might use. How people are interacting with the content that comes up is different and it's shifting. So if you want to be being seen, if you don't want kind of all of that SEO work to go to waste, but if you're somebody that hasn't really kind of looked at SEO before, now's the time, because you can get yourself on a real even keel here. So, Roxy, let's dive into blogging and whether blogging is still worth it. It takes up a lot of time for people, doesn't it? It's something that we hear a lot of, on top of kind of being a business owner. People also feel like a bit of a content engine as well. So, blogging 2025, what's going on?
So, you need to 100% still be blogging, and it is definitely still worth it in 2025, but you've got to do it in a strategic way. So with all these kind of new changes that are coming in, blogging is now the foundation for demonstrating EEAT, which is experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. It's the content Google and AI systems show their users. So generic posts will no longer cut it. We need to be putting out authentic content and original writing. That is what is going to win.
Yeah, and actually, when I look into analytics with some of our clients now, hey Michelle, I'm gonna use you.
Hi,
Michelle, probably listening in the gym. Hi. We were looking at this together and looking at actually, oh yeah. Now, if you get into the back end of your website, you can see that AI is crawling your site and it's looking for data. So for those of you that are checking your analytics regularly, you'll see that box pop up now. where you can actually see AI. When was the last time AI crawled your site? What is it crawling it for? And that can give you a real good idea as well for some content. But what you really want to be doing is using your voice to build that EAT. So build that experience, build that expertise, showcase your experience, showcase your expertise, show that you're an authority in your field. And authority doesn't have to mean award-winning, although if you are, please talk about it. But it needs to mean that you know what you're talking about. And then also that trustworthiness as well. Like, why not only should your clients trust you, but why should AI search and search engines trust that your content should rank above somebody else's? So really, one of the easiest ways to start with this is really starting with real stories, you know, talking about your work, talking about interactions you've had with clients, talk about good things that have happened in your business, you know, challenges that you found in your business as well. And that's genuine experience. And you want to then layer in professional background and client results. This is not the time for you to be shy about your testimonials or shy about the experience. And let me tell you, I am the worst at this. When I sit down to write an about like section or a bio or anything like that, I am awful at mentioning all of the things that I have done and, you know, the places I've spoken at, or maybe the awards that we've collected as a business. But these things boost your expertise and authority and are ultimately going to help you win at the SEO game at the moment.
So the thing here is AI systems are trained to exclude low value cookie cutter content. Content that shows real voices, that real passion, authority, you know, all of that EAT we just spoke about is going to win in the search. And this is how you can stand out when others are just copy and pasting stuff and, you know, being very, very generic.
Yeah, and I think that is the thing, isn't it? Like with the rise of AI, we're also seeing the rise of people that are just kind of producing that cookie cutter content. And we have got something for you. So keep listening if you're somebody that's like tapping into AI. And, you know, no judgment whatsoever. We use AI a lot of the time, but you do have to personalize it and make it your own. It'll get you sort of 85% of the way there.
I think there's the right way and there's a wrong way to use AI, but you definitely should be utilizing it in your business anyway. We love it.
Yeah. Okay, so also it's not just about your content, but it's also about how you're structuring your posts as well. And you can structure your post for something called AEO, which is answer engine optimization. And that's rapidly taking over search engine optimization. So you want to be crafting content and structuring your content to answer questions, really, and thinking about appealing to kind of the AI bots that are crawling your site. So crafting content that can be used by AI. Because what we're seeing with Google and that snippet that you get now, that AI generated answer at the beginning, it's not showing top ranking websites first, it's showing that. And that actually gets collected from quite a few sources. It doesn't just get collected from a top ranking website. These bots are looking for that authority, that expertise, that experience, and they're looking for kind of the trusted sites that they can keep going back to pull this information from. So you want to make sure that you're not only crafting content that answers questions that your audience are genuinely seeking, but also crafting the content to be able to be read by AI as well. So having snippets in there, thinking about how people are maybe voice searching. But also for those of you that want to take this further as well, you can put chatbots onto your site as well. And it's just another little layer, although, you know, we wouldn't necessarily say that all of you need to run away and go and kind of put chatbots on your site at all. It could just be as simple as kind of having snippets of text that are easy for AI to read, like FAQs, right, Roxy?
Yeah, and it's all about how you structure it, right? Was that my cue to talk about FAQs?
No, it's, for example, pose the question.
Yeah, I know, but you're like, don't do this to me. Sorry, EJ. So it's all about how you structure things, and everything you do in business needs a bit of strategy behind it. So if you're thinking like, how am I going to do this into my business? So I've got an example piece of kind of content. So you can pose the question, then give a short 40 to 60 word answer like AI would quote it to you. Then follow with steps, examples, and FAQs. Use headings, bullet points, tables, structure content. Structured content is easier for AI to, does that say pause?
Passe, but read.
Oh, what is that word?
I don't know, but I'm going to use it in my language.
Structured content is easier for AI to read.
Yeah, so something that we've kind of been looking at as well in terms of our own SEO is kind of adding frequently asked questions, but also adding schema. So schema markup is the kind of code that sits behind your website. And, you know, you can get AI to generate this for you, but you want to be making sure that you're adding schema to your pages. So this is an FAQ schema, how-to schema, and an article mock-up in your blog. And this helps search engines and AI understand your content and then pull it into that AI overview or voice answers if people are voice searching and having the voice answers back to them. It's just a little bit of code that you stick onto your site. It's not visible to, you know, you and I kind of looking at your site, but it's there for search engines to read and for AI to read as well.
Yeah, so for instance, the FAQ markup on what's included in a full service planning question gives structured search bots exactly the data that they want.
Yeah, it's just that kind of like direct to the point FAQs. So we did this, didn't we? And we had it as kind of a hidden page on the site. It's just sat there in our footer. It's kind of the common questions that people might ask about business coaching, about coaching, how to maybe start a wedding business, and really thinking about what are the common questions that we get asked? What might somebody be asking if they weren't aware of the Web Pro podcast or the Wedding Business Hub, but were at a point where they wanted some assistance in their business? And just thinking about that in terms of your business. So what are people who are maybe looking for a wedding florist? What are the questions that they're thinking of or asking, or, you know, maybe looking for some unique entertainment for their day, and just kind of having a bit of a brainstorm around that.
Yeah, and those FAQs that we did wasn't overly difficult to do at all. First of all, mapped it out, and then the next day implemented it into the website. It just, these little changes and tweaks are going to help you be ahead of the game. And this is what happened when kind of social media came into play, wasn't it? It was like, you've got to get with it or you're going to get left behind. And this is definitely one of those things.
I'm glad you said that, actually, because I think, you know, when we talk about things, and we understand that we're talking about complex words here, and, you know, full transparency, these words weren't like everyday terminology that we were using in our business and in our language, really.
It was like schema, like we didn't even have to say that to begin with.
My kids kept on saying, I think I kept on
Stigma.
saying stigma. Yeah, and I was like, such a millennial. But yeah, schema wasn't in our kind of like day-to-day language at all. But it's the question exactly kind of what you said there, like, do we want all of that work to go to waste? Do we want like 10 years of doing this to go to waste, and 10 years of kind of internet visibility to go to waste? Or are we going to now, you know, embrace the changes and embrace AI and the way that we're going and ensure that we're still visible? Okay, the other thing as well, and absolutely something that I need to put on our to-do list, is not to leave old blogs and old posts gathering dust. You know, revisit them, repurpose them. You can update statistics in there, add recent stories, add internal links in your blogs to other content that you've written as well. Refreshing kind of past blogs shows freshness, but also shows that you're an active expert as well.
Yeah, and link posts to one another as well. So link in, let's say you've got one blog and you talk about a subject, you can link that into another one, or maybe a podcast episode you've done or some recent work. So build cluster content. A planner's post connects to a styling guide, connects to budgeting tips. That signals topical authority and helps AI engines map out your expertise. And this is one of those things, like, you should be going over this stuff and checking links and make sure it's working anyway. So I would just carve out half an hour to go and kind of revamp your old blogs.
Yeah, and then you can repurpose that into other formats while you're there as well. So a really good blog post that's really resonated can become content for an email newsletter. It could then be repurposed into an Instagram carousel. And AI does crawl social media as well. So being an authority on social media and ensuring that you're regularly posting is really going to help. You can convert that into Pinterest pins. You could even voice record and use parts of your blog as a real soundbite. And this is really about building visibility across multiple channels, which Google sees that as authority, but also that people are engaging with you as well, which all helps the algorithms.
You'll find that certain blog content gets clicked into AI overviews, but readers often click through to read more. So the content needs depth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just think of it, I mean, it's not complex when we break it down like this. Think about it how you use it. So if you're Googling something, maybe you're Googling like a top restaurant, or maybe you're doing some decorating and you're Googling a hack, you know, that AI overview is really helpful. And usually you can get kind of the answers at the click of a finger, rather than having to kind of go and view a YouTube video or go and kind of read a full blog. And that's what AI is there to do, to just speed things up and make things easier for that end user. But it's the same with socials, and it's the same, we were talking about this sort of excuse me, 10 plus years ago, about using it like a user. So when you're writing content, when you're thinking about what you're putting out there, thinking about how you interact with things as a user, and that really just simplifies things as well.
And you know, when you say that as well, like do things how the end user was do it. So many people don't do that, and it's so easy to get stuck in like this side of the business, but you need to do things from the end user point of view.
Absolutely. Right, you can be tracking your visibility as well in AI environments. So we mentioned before that, you know, your analytics now will show how often your site is referenced by AI, but it also will show you which queries, which questions pull your content. And really helpfully, it will also show you how you compare to others as well.
Yeah, and also use Google URL inspection, search tests as your ideal client, and domain analytics to see what topics are unlocking that search potential.
Yeah, and that's exactly, you know, search tests as your ideal client. Think about, what are they asking? What questions are they typing in or voice searching? And then build an authoritative content around that as well. Okay, we want to dive into some quick tips now for blogging, just to kind of round up what we've said, but to just make it as simple as possible, because yes, we've dived into some pretty techie words today and pretty techie things that absolutely are new and are evolving and are changing. So we're kind of learning along with you and testing things and looking at things, but it pays to be ahead. But we want to just break it down really super simply so that you can take this away and really action on a few things after this podcast. Right, Roxy?
So here's some quick tips for everyday blogging that you can implement into your business. So firstly, make a list of questions that your couples are actually asking. Then answer them directly into your blog. You can also use, and you need to be using actually, short conversational sentences like you talk over a coffee. Add a simple table when you compare packages, timelines, budgets, because that's important, because then that's crawlable data via AI. And use FAQs or how-to schema markup so AI can feature your content in answers. Also, update your old blogs. Go and do it at least twice a year. Keep them fresh, check their links, link them into other things in your website. And that's quite a really simple one to do, really. And make sure you monitor your AI visibility using tools like Wix AI, Search Console, search consoles, or analytics tools.
Yeah, if you want to be found in 2025, it's all about blogging with depth, having some structure around how you're blogging, fresh updates on past blogs as well, and using that real voice. That's how you feed your AI systems and how you're going to help couples find you and also trust you as well. So something that you can go and do is pick one old post this week, go in, refresh it with an up-to-date story, maybe put in a FAQ section at the bottom of the blog. Ensure your internal links, you're internally linking to other blog posts that you've done or other podcasts so that people can really get that extra content from your site and keeps people on your site as well. So that's hitting another really important SEO kind of tick box there as well. And then as well, take a look at your schema markup. It's in the back end of your site. It's really important. And honestly, I did this last week, updated some of our schema, took about 2 minutes per page. You can use AI tools to help you write that as well.
Yeah, definitely utilize AI to be AI.
Yeah. And I want you to think about planning your next piece of content using, rather than kind of like real short questions, I want you to think about kind of a long tail question, which helps you to just be ranked in terms of authority there. So how much does a wedding planner cost in Buckinghamshire? So pop in your region there. How much does a wedding florist cost in Staffordshire? Whatever it is, and then blog about that as well.
Yeah, and if you've missed our early episodes on pricing strategy, Pinterest, and SEO, those are must listen episodes too. So go back and check those out. They complement this blogging strategy beautifully.
Yeah, and we just wanted to mention our Content Vault subscription as well. For just £27, we actually give you blog posts written in our proven EEAT and that answer engine optimization format as well. Customizable to your brand voice and ready to publish. There's no blank screens, no tech guesswork from you, just publish ready content designed for visibility and trust. It's perfect if you're swamped or want consistency without any of the hustle. And you also get AI Wizard that rewrites these posts using our formulas, but also to change it to speak to your ideal client and in your voice in seconds. Head on over to our website and try it for a month. You'll be surprised at how quickly your couples start to notice you.
Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. If you love the content, which I know you do, don't forget to hop over and hit that subscribe button and leave us a cheeky review if you've got 5 minutes too. Thank you so much for today, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.